Chapter 2978. Easily killed off. Is there such an ugly alternative dragon among the divine dragons? Do they have the bloodline of the divine dragon? Isn't this too ugly? Even if they have the bloodline of the divine dragon, they wouldn't be able to fetch a good price, right? They are too ugly to be used as mounts. The sudden appearance of the members of the Dragon Palace and their smiles on their faces shocked everyone present. The people of the four-armed tribe smirked when they saw this. They sized up the Venom Horn Dragons group without the slightest scruple. They didn't bother to hide it. To them, what did Dragon Palace mean by sending people to welcome them? Were they afraid of them and wanted to please them? As a tribe from the center of the universe, they had a distinguished status in this remote place. Therefore, they didn't take the members of Dragon Palace seriously. The 8 wilderness celestial emperors and disciples were taken aback when they saw the arrival of Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace is afraid. They are here to please us. Haha, I didn't expect Dragon Palace to have such a day. Great, we should make them kneel down and beg for mercy later. Some experts from 8 wilderness bellowed with excitement and malevolence. The people on the planet were also slightly surprised when they saw this. They didn't expect Dragon Palace to welcome them. Treat them well? But it made sense. The 4-armed and 3-eyed humans were powerful forces in the center of the universe. Dragon Palace might be powerful in the starry sky, but they were nothing in the center of the universe. It was only right that Dragon Palace wanted to please them. When Orochi and the others heard the unbridled words of the other party, their smiles widened and their laughter grew louder. Brothers, let's show them our passion. Orochi laughed as he looked at Sky Formation at the side. Orochi, you guys are ugly. Sky Formation chuckled and waved his arm. Rays of brilliance filled a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers, shrouding everyone. Old man Sky Formation, we don't like what you said. But you're strong. We can't beat you, but Let's start with you. Enjoy our hospitality. Orochi glared at Sky Formation and waved his arm while laughing. His arm lengthened and grabbed at the 4-armed tribe that called them ugly. This is? Yamada no Orochi suddenly made a move. Colorful light suddenly enveloped everyone in an instant. Courting death. The expressions of the 5 Fourth Order God Emperor Realm experts turned cold. Their 4 arms condensed into a long spear and slashed at the 8-headed serpent's arm. Bam. However, when their long spears struck Orochi's arm, there was a sound of collision. A blood-curdling scream rang out. It came from the 3 4-armed tribe disciples who had said that the Venom Horn Dragon was too ugly. His body was directly grabbed by Orochi. What? When the 4th Order God Emperor Realm experts from the 4-armed tribe saw this scene, their expressions changed. They had actually failed to block the attack just now. Since your mouths aren't clean, I'll treat your mouths first. At this time, the 3 disciples of the 4-armed tribe were floating in front of the Orochi, unable to move their bodies. Their eyes were filled with fear. No, cough, cough, cough. They screamed in terror, but in the next moment, their mouths began to rot, and it looked extremely horrifying. The place where their mouths had rotted slowly started to spread downwards. A strange roar of terror came from their mouths, and it sounded extremely miserable. Hearing these miserable roars, everyone could not help but feel a chill run down their spine. A trace of fear flashed through their eyes. Dragon Palace, you're courting death. The group of God Emperors from the 4-armed tribe revealed their anger, and a terrifying aura rushed out. The 5 Fourth Order God Emperors in the lead moved, and 4 of their arms held onto 4 spears as they charged forward. Kill them, exterminate these Dragon Palace bastards who don't know what's good for them. All the experts from the 4-armed tribe roared coldly. There were more than 10,000 of them, and the weakest among them was an 8th Order Immortal King Realm. The powerful aura caused the faces of everyone on the planet to turn pale. Even the God Emperor's eyes narrowed, and he was filled with shock. Everyone stared intently at this scene. Jia, little ones, entertain the experts from the center of the cosmos. Emosha roared madly, and a chilling aura rushed out. Jia. The Yamada no Orochi stretched out its arm, and black claws that looked like viscous liquid shot towards the 5 Fourth Order God Emperor realm experts. The aura of the 10,000 members of the Venom Horn Dragon tribe soared into the sky. As one of the stronger dragon species in the Dragon Palace, even the weakest of them had the combat power of a 9th Order God King realm expert. Among them, there were 300 God Emperors. Other than Mofian Du Jiao, there were 3 more 4th Order God Emperors. In other words, the entire Venom Horn Dragon tribe had 5 4th Order God Emperors. The Yamada no Orochi had the combat power of a 5th Order God Emperor. The terrifying aura erupted, and the chilling aura caused all the experts from the four-armed tribe to hold their breaths, and their eyes widened. So. At this time, the Yamada no Orochi's attack had already reached the 5 4th Order God Emperor realm experts. Feeling the terrifying attack, the 4 of them had a huge change in expression. The previous collision had given them a bad premonition, and the current attack caused them to feel fear. Ping ping ping. The spears on their arms flew towards the arm formed by the Yamada no Orochi, and the spears melted one after another. The attack was still flying towards them. Not good. Not good, he's a 5th Order God Emperor realm expert. The 5 experts of the four-armed tribe immediately roared. What? Hearing the words of the 5 experts, the bodies of the four-armed tribe members trembled. Prepare to experience the pain we're going to bring you, Jie. Welcome to our Dragon Palace's territory. The Yamada no Orochi roared with killing intent, and his figure appeared in front of the 5 4th Order God Emperor realm experts. Pew pew pew. The arms grew longer, and they easily pierced through their bodies. Jie. At this time, Mofian Du Jiao and the rest of the Venom Horn Dragon tribe members rushed over. Their sinister aura and malevolent expressions caused the faces of the four-armed tribe members to turn pale. How is this possible? An invincible pressure came crashing down on them, and the four-armed tribe's God Emperor screamed. How could the Dragon Palace be so strong? The other party had only sent over 10,000 members, but they already possessed such a terrifying aura. There was also a 5th Order God Emperor realm expert. How was this possible? The information they received wasn't like this. Chapter 2979. The Vanguard of the Two Great Races 1-inch GGG. A sinister voice resounded through the surroundings of the transmission array. Tens of thousands of Venom Horn Dragons turned into black shadows as they charged towards the four-armed race. Their huge mouths, malevolent faces, and terrifying aura caused the four-armed race's experts to turn pale. 5 4th Order God Emperor realm experts were instantly suppressed by the oppressive aura. At this moment, a sense of fear shrouded their hearts. Boom! In the next moment, tens of thousands of Venom Horn Dragons appeared in front of them and pierced through their bodies. GGG! A horrifying voice resounded in their minds. The four-armed race's experts widened their eyes in shock. Scram. A terrifying aura was released from their bodies as they charged towards the Venom Horn Dragons. However, under the absolute suppression, coupled with the special characteristics of the Venom Horn Dragon, their attacks were completely useless. One by one, the Venom Horn Dragons entered their bodies easily. The Venom Horn Dragons did not enter the four-armed race's experts. Instead, they swam through their bodies. Incomparably painful screams resounded through the air. More than 10,000 four-armed races experts screamed in agony. They rolled on the ground in pain as blood seeped out of their bodies. The shrill screams caused everyone's scalp to go numb. The battle had ended before it even started. They were on a completely different level. This is an expert from the center of the cosmos? The people around the transmission array, including the ruler of this planet, the God Emperor, stared at the scene in disbelief. Weren't those four-armed humans experts from the cosmos? Didn't they want to destroy the Dragon Palace? Tame the divine dragons? How could this be? The Dragon Palace had merely sent 10,000 experts, yet they had annihilated all the so-called experts from the center of the cosmos. They didn't even have the strength to resist. Who was the real expert from the center of the cosmos? The difference was too great. Gulp. Yang Shaohun and the experts and disciples from the 8 desolate lands who were beside the four-armed race were dumbfounded. Cold sweat trickled down their backs as they looked at the four-armed race's experts. Their faces were slowly turning pale. What was going on? Was the scene in front of them real? How could the Dragon Palace be so powerful? Many thoughts appeared in their minds, causing their minds to be thrown into chaos. Especially the disciples of the 8 Desolation God Emperor, Emperor Lord and the others, their heads were buzzing. Wasn't the strongest Dragon King in the Dragon Palace a 4th Order God Emperor? Didn't the Dragon Palace have a maximum of 100 Emperor Gods? What was the situation now? The Dragon Palace had randomly sent 10,000 people, and the weakest of them was a 9th Order God King Realm, Undying God King Realm. More than 30 God Emperor level experts. This was only the tip of the Dragon Palace's power. Buzz buzz. An Emperor God looked at all the four-armed race members who were screaming in despair with fear. His figure flickered and he wanted to escape. Suddenly, his illusory figure gradually solidified, causing his expression to change drastically. Lord Desolation God Emperor, this space has been sealed. We can't return to our divine kingdom, he said with a trembling voice. When Emperor God Desolation heard him, his pupils dilated and cold sweat dripped down. He knew that the Dragon Palace had the Sky Formation God Emperor, a top-notch array master. Lord, are you a match for those from the Dragon Palace? He asked Yang Shaohun with a trembling voice. Didn't you say that the Dragon Palace has a maximum of 100 Emperor Gods, and the strongest is a 4th Order God Emperor? Yang Shaohun regained his senses after hearing God Emperor Desolation's words. He gritted his teeth and roared. At this moment, his face was filled with panic. We didn't expect this either, God Emperor Desolation said in despair. They had never expected the Dragon Palace to be so powerful. They were so powerful that even the experts in the center of the cosmos could not deal with them. Stop playing around. There's a group of people at the side. Kill them all. The blood-curdling screams continued for a few minutes. With a wave of his hand, the 5 4th Order God Emperor Realm experts that he had tortured to the point of no longer resembling human beings were directly bound and thrown to his side. Later on, they still wanted to obtain some information from these people. Leave the strongest few alive, and the rest could be killed. Yes, boss. The group of Venom Horn Dragons immediately responded, and quickly slaughtered the 4-armed Horn Tribe members they were dealing with. Their gazes landed on Yang Shaohun and the group of 8 Desolations. It's your turn. Do you want me to torture you to death, or do you want to commit suicide? Demon Fiend looked at them, and the corners of his mouth curved into a smile as he walked towards them. Run! Yang Shaohun felt the gaze of the 8 Desolations Devil Tribe. His face was filled with fear as he turned and fled. At the same time, the 4 wolf beasts beside him lowered their bodies to cover his escape. Run? Where can you run to in my array? Sky Formation sneered as he saw Yang Shaohun trying to escape. He waved his hand. So. A huge net appeared around him and surrounded him. Damn it! Yang Shaohun's expression changed. He sensed the space around him and knew that he could not escape back to his divine kingdom. That old man is a 5th Order God Emperor. He cursed inwardly, and his heart was filled with despair. So, the huge net wrapped around him, and he did not even have the chance to escape. Don't kill me, don't kill me! Yang Shaohun screamed in fear. He, didn't you say that you want to tame the members of our Dragon Palace? Are you going to exterminate us? Demon Fiend stared at Yang Shaohun, and his face was filled with ridicule. Don't kill me or our 3-eyed tribe will not let you off. We are just small fries in the 3-eyed tribe. When our patriarch and elders come, your Dragon Palace will not be able to stop them. Let me go, let me go! Yang Shaohun screamed in fear. 3-eyed tribe? Hee, do you really think that our Dragon Palace is afraid of you? 8 Desolations Devil Tribe said coldly as he swept his gaze across everyone in the 8 Desolations Devil Tribe. Send them to hell. He waved his hand and ordered the members of the Venom Horn Dragon Tribe. Spus, you want to exterminate our Dragon Palace? You bunch of idiots, die. 8 Desolations Devil Tribe members immediately attacked everyone in the 8 Desolations Devil Tribe. Not good. It's over, it's all over. Tens of thousands of experts from the 8 Desolations Devil Tribe were filled with despair. Even the experts from the Forearm Tribe were easily killed by them. Not to mention them. What happened next was just as they had expected. Sky formations sealed the entire space. Death descended, and screams of agony resounded once again. Chapter 2980, The Vanguard of the Two Races. 2-inch. How could this be? How could this be? I can't accept this. I can't accept this. Cries of pain and despair were heard. The Overlord and Desolation God Emperor looked at the scene in despair. They had thought that the experts from the center of the universe could easily wipe out the Dragon Palace and take revenge. They had never expected that the experts from the center of the universe could not even withstand a single blow from the Dragon Palace. In the past few years, they had sacrificed a large number of their subordinates in exchange for this outcome. Anger, despair, unwillingness. No. 2 indignant and furious voices rang out from the side. When they looked over, they saw the expert of the three-eyed race and the creator being captured by the Dragon Palace. They were howling in despair. Especially Yang Xiaohun. Didn't they say that this was a remote place with very few experts? Wasn't the Dragon Palace in the bag? Wasn't it about taming the divine dragon and becoming a dragon knight? Shut up. Demon Fian's impatient voice was heard as he slapped them, knocking all their teeth out. Let's go. I thought the experts from the center of the universe were strong. How disappointing. Hee hee, you want to wipe out the Dragon Palace with such strength? Sarcastic voices were heard as the Orochi and the rest kept all the corpses. They carried the experts from the four-armed race, Yang Xiaohun and the Overlord and Master Creator. Their silhouettes turned illusory and gradually disappeared. Tianjin waved his arm and the surrounding array disappeared, along with his silhouette. That's it? Everyone around the teleportation formation saw the experts of Dragon Palace disappear and said in a daze. The experts from the center of the universe descended upon their starry sky, intending to wipe out the Dragon Palace and obtain the divine dragon. In the end, the Dragon Palace easily dispatched tens of thousands of experts to wipe them out. Were they really the experts from the center of the universe? May I ask, are they not here to seek death? The experts from the center of the universe descended with invincibility and ended with an instant kill. It was too dramatic. Everyone was dumbfounded. It's not that the experts in the center of the universe are too weak, it's that the Dragon Palace is too strong. I can feel that some of the experts from the Four-Armed Tribe and the Three-Eyed Tribe could easily kill me, but they are powerless before the members of the Dragon Palace. The ruler of this planet, a First-Order God Emperor Realm Master, sighed slowly. The strength of the Dragon Palace was unbelievable. Dragon King, the group of people who came to our side to die have been killed. At the same time, in the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, the Sky Array Orochi and the rest threw a few corpses aside and reported to Wang Xian with a smile. Check their memories first and see how strong the four-arm and three-eyed races are. Prime Minister Turtle smiled and said to them, "No problem." Orochi and the rest nodded and waved at their subordinates. They moved and flowed into the bodies of Yang Xiaohun and the experts of the Four-Armed Tribe like liquid. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne and watched quietly. Dragon King, I've learned some information about the Three-Eyed Tribe. 10 minutes later, Orochi, who was residing in Yang Xiaohun's body, reported to Wang Xian. The Three-Eyed Tribe is a weak tribe in the center of the universe. They don't have many members, only a few hundred billion. However, they are relatively strong. The entire Three-Eyed Tribe has more than 10,000 God Emperor experts. Among them, the leader of the Three-Eyed Tribe possesses the strength of a Void Seventh Order God Emperor. The two guardians of the tribe are also Seventh Order God Emperors. Based on what this body knows, they also have a few Seventh Order God Emperor realm old ancestors. As for the exact number, he doesn't know. Not long ago, he passed the news of our Dragon Palace to the other tribes. Now, the Three-Eyed Tribe is organizing the members around the Ink Han Tribe ruins to enter the resplendent starry sky quickly and take control of our Dragon Palace. The Ink Han tribe ruins is what we call the 8 desolations and 6 directions. Orochi absorbed Yang Xiaohuan's memories and reported to Wang Xian with a frown. Wang Xian's brows knitted together when he heard him. Dragon King, the strength of the four-armed tribe is similar to that of the three-eyed tribe. Based on what this body knows, the strongest expert is also a void seventh order god emperor. They have already informed the tribe's elders and leaders. In order to take control of our dragon palace before the three-eyed tribe and snatch the opportunities, they have also issued the same order as the three-eyed tribe. They are gathering all the members around the Ink Han tribe ruins to form a vanguard army and enter our territory. Emo Sha, who was at the side, immediately added after hearing Orochi's report. His words made all the surrounding leaders of the Dragon Palace frown. There were many void seventh order god emperor experts. If all of them entered the resplendent starry sky, the Dragon Palace wouldn't be able to hold them off. Dragon King, I have dismantled the parts of the Creator and obtained an exit to the center of the universe from his information. The four-armed tribe ruins came from there. Tianzhen, who was holding some parts in his hand, said, Dragon King, I also have an exit that 8 desolations and the others found. Yamada no Orochi agreed. Based on our strength, we aren't strong enough to fight against 2 large tribes. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he fell into deep thought. Dragon King, I have another piece of news. It's extremely troublesome to enter our resplendent starry sky from the center of the universe. Without a detailed map, the experts from the center of the universe might not be able to enter. Tianzhen's eyes flickered as he spoke. Let's capture the 2 fifth-order God Emperor Realm experts from the 9 destruction planet first before we come up with a plan. Wang Xian said to them, Yes, Dragon King. Tianzhen and the others nodded their heads. Let's go together. Wang Xian stood up and was prepared to act personally. Let's go. There are still a few planets in the 8 desolations and 6 directions Dragon Palace. Let's teleport there directly. As he spoke, he moved and came to the teleportation array. Tianzhen, Orochi, and the other leaders immediately followed behind. The 14 fifth-order God Emperor Realm experts of the Dragon Palace were all mobilized. Wang Xian moved and appeared in front of the teleportation array. The group of Dragon Palace members stepped into the teleportation array. Just as Wang Xian and the rest were rushing towards the 8 desolations and 6 directions Dragon Palace, a piece of news spread across the entire resplendent starry sky. The news came from a god emperor in the Tian Fa ancient heaven region. The news from the 8 desolations and 6 directions Dragon Palace was blocked by the Creator's powerful computing power. However, after the Creator's death, the Heavenly Witchcraft Domain, Azure Glaze Domain, and Heavenly Witchcraft Domain received the news that experts from the center of the universe had descended upon the resplendent starry sky. However, before this news could explode in the resplendent starry sky, another piece of news exploded. A god emperor and many experts from the Tian Fa ancient heaven region spread a piece of news. The experts from the four-armed tribe and the three-eyed tribe had been annihilated by the Dragon Palace. Instant kill. Chapter 2981. The Vanguard of the 2 Races 3-inch. What's going on? I just found out that an expert came from the center of the universe, and now he's been destroyed by Dragon Palace? Didn't they say that the expert from the center of the universe was invincible? Didn't they say that they were going to destroy Dragon Palace and tame the divine dragon? Were they killed by the experts of Dragon Palace halfway? Dragon Palace only sent 10,000 members, and they destroyed the expert from the center of the universe. They were defenseless. Dragon Palace is too strong. Is Dragon Palace so strong? I'm on 9 destruction planet, and I know that the expert from the center of the universe is almost invincible. His terrifying aura is suffocating. He even said that he would use the members of Dragon Palace as mounts, and now he's been destroyed? The news shocked countless people. Lioli region, Heavenly Witch region, Imperial Star region, and Sacred region were slightly better off. They had just found out that the expert from the center of the universe had come to resplendent starry sky, and then they received news that he was destroyed by Dragon Palace. But in 8 desolation and 6 directions, everyone was shocked. In 8 desolation and 6 directions, Everyone knew that the terrifying expert from the center of the universe had passed through 8 desolation and 6 directions to come to them. The expert with 4 arms and 3 eyes exuded a terrifying pressure with every move. They had thought that Dragon Palace's calamity was coming, and they had even thought that Dragon Palace would be destroyed. But then they heard the news of the expert from the center of the universe being destroyed. Furthermore, he was easily killed by the 10,000 members of the Dragon Palace without any resistance. Many people had seen the power of the expert from the center of the universe, and such a terrifying existence was killed in an instant? Then how terrifying was Dragon Palace now? At the thought of this, everyone was shocked. Dragon Palace is awesome. Dragon Palace is invincible. How strong are the lords of Dragon Palace now? Too strong. That was an expert from the center of the universe, and he was killed in an instant. Dragon Palace is invincible. While they were shocked, many people cheered. Now that Dragon Palace controlled resplendent starry sky, they had everyone's support. They naturally didn't want Dragon Palace to be destroyed. On the artificial intelligence system, the news of the expert from the center of the universe being destroyed spread at a terrifying speed. Meanwhile, on 9 Destruction Planet, everyone on the planet saw the news being spread on the artificial intelligence system. All of their mouths were agape, and their faces were filled with shock. They looked at the information on the brain, and then looked at the 2 experts from the center of the universe hovering above the planet. Presumably, these 2 fellows still don't know that their subordinates have been killed, right? The people of planet Jiuming pursed their lips and looked at them with strange gazes. In the void above 9 Min Planet, the deacons of the 4-armed tribe and 3-eyed tribe sensed the strange gaze from below, and their eyes were filled with confusion. However, they didn't think too much about it. They looked at the message on the communication stone plate in their hands and smiled. Seeing that the other party was also smiling, their expressions gradually turned cold. They knew that both the 4-armed tribe and the 3-eyed tribe had sent their vanguard armies over. After sending the method to enter the bedazzling starry sky, they waited quietly. In a few hours at most, the first batch of experts from their clans would arrive and begin to fight for the opportunities in this world. So. At this moment, one figure after another flew over at a terrifying speed. They were so fast that by the time Deacon Qian of the 4-armed tribe and Yang Feng of the 3-eyed tribe noticed each other, they were already in the sky above 9 Min Planet. This is? Seeing the 14 people flying in front of them, the 2 of them narrowed their eyes and were shocked. Who are you guys? Deacon Qian of the 4-armed tribe frowned and asked in a deep voice as he looked at Wang Xian and the rest who had suddenly appeared in front of them. Let me introduce myself. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is the opportunity that you guys are looking for. Wang Xian sized them up without any expression on his face. You are the leader of the Dragon Palace? Dragon King? Upon hearing his words, Yang Feng narrowed his eyes and sized up Wang Xian and the rest. This is? The Dragon King and the rest are here. The Dragon King and the rest are here. On the 9 Min Planet, everyone widened their eyes and stared at Wang Xian and the rest closely. Yes, I'm the Dragon King. Remember, I'm the one who killed you guys. Wang Xian nodded his head and the unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him instantly. Swoosh. The moment Wang Xian struck, sky formation waved his arm and 9-colored radiance shrouded the entire starry sky. In the void, there was a slight ripple. Roving Demon, who was hiding in the surroundings, also made his move. What? Yang Feng was shocked when he saw Wang Xian charging towards him at a horrifying speed. Deacon Qian of the 4-armed tribe also narrowed his eyes and was on high alert. However, he would not lend a hand to the 3-eyed tribe. He scanned the surroundings and sized up the creepy 9-colored radiance. He had a bad feeling about this. Just as he was cautiously surveying his surroundings, a blood-curdling scream suddenly rang out. How can this be? Deacon Qian of the 4-armed tribe turned around immediately and was shocked to see Yang Feng of the 3-eyed tribe being grabbed by a huge dragon claw. Instant kill? Danger. At this moment, he suddenly felt the fear of death shrouding his heart. His back was drenched in cold sweat. However, it was all too late. The razor-sharp claws pierced through his body and a creepy force was dissolving his vitality. In the next instant, he felt his body being flung towards the dozen people who were hovering at the side. His eyes were wide open and filled with fear. What's going on? Are they really members of the Dragon Palace? Why are they so terrifying? No, don't kill me. A hoarse voice came from his mouth and his face was as pale as a sheet. He. If you want to annihilate the Dragon Palace, you'll have to pay a heavy price. A cold voice was heard. Subsequently, Deacon Qian of the Four-Armed Tribe sensed a black monster entering his body and his consciousness gradually faded. Let go of me, Dragon King. The army of the Three-Eyed Tribe will be here soon. I'm warning you, let go of me now. A horrified voice was heard from the side. Yang Feng, who was grabbed by Wang Xian, was sweating profusely and screaming with bloodshot eyes. What the hell is going on? Is the Dragon Palace so powerful? You're courting death. You still want to be a dragon knight? Wang Xian stared at the three-eyed Yang Feng with disdain. You? Soul assimilation. Yang Feng wanted to say something but Wang Xian's cold voice was heard in his mind. His consciousness started to blur. A message entered Wang Xian's mind. Go back. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and said to the members before disappearing. The rest of the members of the Dragon Palace nodded and disappeared. From the moment they appeared to the moment they left, it took less than 20 seconds. The two experts from the center of the universe were dead. Chapter 2982. The advanced troops of the two tribes 4-inch they were instantly killed by the Dragon King and the rest? On Jiaoming Planet, Wang Xian and the rest had already left, along with the experts from the Four-Armed Tribe and the Three-Eyed Tribe. All the people lifted their heads and stared blankly at the sky. The experts from the center of the universe, who seemed extremely powerful to them, were instantly killed by the Dragon King and the rest. The gap was huge. Were the Dragon King and the rest the experts from the center of the universe, or were they the experts from the center of the universe? The Dragon King and the rest are simply too strong. They could even kill the experts from the center of the universe easily. Everyone murmured in shock. 10 minutes later, everyone came back to their senses and immediately sent the news to the artificial intelligence system. The news stirred up a commotion once again. The strength of the Dragon King and the rest shocked everyone once again. How strong was the Dragon King? How strong was the Dragon Palace? In an instant, the entire resplendent starry sky was in a heated discussion. When the emperor gods from the Lioli region and the sacred region received the news, their eyes narrowed and they were filled with shock. The Dragon Palace today was even more terrifying than before. Dragon King, things are getting worse. The advanced troops of the Four-Armed Tribe are rushing towards us. Just as the entire resplendent starry sky was discussing the strength of the Dragon Palace, Orochi reported solemnly in the Dragon Palace. The Three-Eyed Tribe has also dispatched an army to this place, Ji said. On the Dragon Throne, Wang Xian also revealed a solemn look. After absorbing the information of the experts from the Three-Eyed Tribe, Wang Xian understood more. The more he understood the crisis that the Dragon Palace was facing. They will probably reach us in 2 to 3 hours. Their advanced troops shouldn't be very strong, but they are still very tricky to deal with. Orochi guessed based on the memories he had obtained. It's a little troublesome. Wang Xian nodded his head and continued, we still have a chance to annihilate the vanguard armies of the two major tribes. Let's kill every single one of them. In addition, we have to make sure that the advanced troops didn't tell the other tribes about the method of entering the universe. Now, the Dragon Palace only had this slight chance of survival. Annihilate all the advanced troops of the two tribes, and these people didn't tell the other tribes about the method of entering. The probability of that happening wasn't zero. In fact, Wang Xian felt that it was rather high. According to the memories of that expert from the Three-Eyed Tribe, he had only told the method of entering to an elder from the Three-Eyed Tribe. That elder was also a Void Sixth Order God Emperor realm expert, and the leader of this vanguard army. The entrance of the Four-Armed Tribe has also been reported to an elder. It's the leader of the Four-Armed Tribe's vanguard, a Void Sixth Order God Emperor. Yamada no Orochi added. The Three Eyes tribe and Four Arms tribe's vanguard troops are from the tribes that are closer to the Ink Han tribe's ruins. There shouldn't be too many experts. Sixth Order God Emperor realm should be their limit. It's very likely that there are only 2 Sixth Order God Emperor realm experts. Wang Xian knocked lightly on the dragon throne beside him as he pondered. Dragon King, if it were 2 Sixth Order God Emperor realm experts, we might be able to kill them. Tianjin said. Wang Xian raised his brows. Tianjin, your array formation can't affect Sixth Order God Emperor realm experts, right? If they escape, we won't be able to stop them. Dragon King, my current array formation might not be able to trap them, but it can still affect them for a few seconds. With the power of the Dragon Cave, it's not impossible to kill 2 Sixth Order God Emperor realm experts. But if there are 3 Sixth Order God Emperor realm experts, we might not be able to hold them back. Tianjin said solemnly. There were too many uncertainties. However, the Dragon Palace had to fight. Otherwise, when the experts of the 2 tribes arrived, the Dragon Palace could only give up on resplendent starry sky and flee. Wang Xian and the leaders of the Dragon Palace didn't want to see that happen. This was a choice they had no other choice. Get ready. Roving Demon, bring some men to monitor the 2 exits of 8 desolations and 6 directions. Report immediately when you see them invading. In Lai, you go as well. Once they arrive, investigate their strength. Wang Xian ordered. Yes, Dragon King. Roving Demon, Lai, and the rest acknowledged. Prime Minister Turtle, order everyone to prepare for battle. Dragon Cave, get ready. Also, inform Xiaolon to get ready. Wang Xian continued to order. Prime Minister Turtle replied. Once the news is confirmed, if we can fight, we must kill them all. If we can't fight, leave immediately. Wang Xian stood up slowly, and his eyes shone brightly. The members of the Dragon Palace nodded their heads heavily. Dragon King, I think we can win this battle. I can take over Deacon Qian's body. We can use all the resources we have to raise Emo Sha's cultivation to 5th Order God Emperor realm, and let him take over the 3-eyed God Emperor realm expert's body. If we act well, we can take the 2 Sixth Order God Emperor realm experts by surprise. In that case, the chances of us killing them all will be higher. 8 Limitless said. Wang Xian's brows twitched as he looked at the 2 Fifth Order God Emperor realm experts. At this moment, the 2 of them were on the verge of death, and the 3-eyed God Emperor realm expert was in a daze. That's feasible. The vitality liquid in the ancient lake's Moon Bay can heal their injuries, and the eternal fruit can restore the 3-eyed God Emperor realm expert's consciousness. 8 Limitless God Emperor realm expert will be able to take them by surprise. Tianjin's eyes flickered. Are the resources in the Dragon Palace enough to raise Emo Sha's cultivation? Wang Xian looked at Prime Minister Turtle. Dragon King, we don't have enough resources now. But we can go to the Saint region in the Colored Glaze region to exchange for some resources. Emo Sha's cultivation shouldn't be a problem. Prime Minister Turtle said. Alright, then take 2 eternal fruits and exchange them for a large amount of elixir pills. I will consume them to raise his strength. Wang Xian said immediately. At that time, it would be worth it even if he had to consume some of his dragon chi to raise Emo Sha's cultivation. After all, this was a crucial moment. Whether they could eliminate the 6th Order God Emperor realm experts completely depended on the 2 of them. The leaders of the Dragon Palace immediately made their preparations. Roving Demon led his subordinates and Lai towards the 2 exits of the 8 desolations and 6 harmonies. Beside the Dragon Palace, the gigantic Devil's Cave rose into the air. Roving Crab let out a roar as he flew out. Millions of subordinates flew out from his body and into the Dragon's Cave. The Arrow Dragon race and the Dolphin race also flew into the Dragon's Cave and stood on the battle platform. Ooh! Xiaolon flew into the sky. His huge body exuded a desolate aura, and the rest of the dragon race stood on his body. All members of the Dragon Palace, prepare for battle. Be ready at all times. Chapter 2983, Full Strength of Dragon Palace. On Prime Minister Turtle, did something happen for the Dragon Palace to need so many resources so urgently? We, the Lioli region, will definitely help if we can. Just as Dragon Palace was preparing for war, the group of emperor gods in the center of the Lioli region spoke to Prime Minister Turtle with smiles. There's nothing to hide. There are two centers in the center of the universe that have found out the location of the entrance to the bedazzling star sky. They want to deal with Dragon Palace. There will be a huge war soon. Prime Minister Turtle looked at them and chuckled. Prime Minister Turtle, are the clans in the center of the universe strong? Can Dragon Palace withstand them? The Lioli region lord asked in surprise. I don't know. It's a serious problem. If Dragon Palace loses, we might have to leave this place. Prime Minister Turtle stopped smiling and said solemnly. The Lioli region lord and the rest were shocked when they heard Prime Minister Turtle. Prime Minister Turtle, is there anything we can do to help? One of the emperor gods asked solemnly. No need. I'm here to exchange some resources with you guys. Prime Minister Turtle shook his head. Territorial Lord, we have brought all the resources we need. At this time, an emperor god walked in and said to the Territorial Lord, Prime Minister Turtle, here. The Territorial Lord said as she passed the space ring to Prime Minister Turtle. All right, I'll return to Dragon Palace first. Prime Minister Turtle took it and disappeared gradually. Territorial Lord, Dragon Palace might be in big trouble this time. Looking at the disappearing figure of Prime Minister Turtle, a god emperor said with a solemn expression, this might not be a good thing for the bedazzling star sky. Dragon Palace is in good control now. Another emperor god said with a frown, Dragon Palace is facing experts from the center of the universe after all. That's a legendary existence. Territorial Lord, Dragon Palace saved the entire Lioli region. An old woman hesitated for a moment before saying, maybe it's time for us to repay their kindness? The Territorial Lord smiled and looked at the emperor gods. This is an opportunity for us to witness the strength of the experts from the center of the universe. The group of god emperors smiled as they made up their minds. If it wasn't for the resources sent by Deacon Qian, it would have been very difficult for us to enter this space. At the same time, in the depths of the 8 Desolation 6 directions, 3 old men with 4 arms passed through a weak formation and laughed. Deacon Qian has made a great contribution this time. An old man on the right smiled as he looked around. Let the other disciples come in first. There might be a big battle this time. The 4-armed elder in the center waved his hand and said, Yes, elder. The old man on the right nodded. The 3-eyed tribe isn't weak, but with Elder Kwong leading the team this time, that divine dragon will definitely belong to us. The old man on the left flattered him. Behind them, figures came in one after another. Soon, nearly 100,000 figures stood behind them. Among the 100,000 people, the weakest was at the 7th Order Undying God King realm. Among them, there were 600 to 700 god emperors. The strongest was the old man in the center. He was an elder of the 4-armed tribe, a void 6th Order God Emperor realm expert. This wasn't even 1/20th of the 4-armed race's power. But given the urgency of the situation, they could only gather this many people. The rest of the stronger armies were rushing over. But the distance was too far, and they would need more than 10 days. Let's go and contact Deacon Qian. Elder Kwong, who was leading the army, looked around and said calmly. The 4-armed race's army of 100,000 immediately flew forward. And right in front of them, there was a hidden figure. Wang. At this time, a figure flickered. He held a compass in his hand and appeared on the left side of the 4-armed race's army. But that figure only lasted for an instant before disappearing. Elder Kwong of the 4-armed race looked to the right with doubt in his eyes. What's wrong, Elder Kwong? One of the 4-armed race's deacons asked curiously. Nothing. Elder Kwong shook his head and did not think too much about it. 4-armed tribe, ranked 703 in the God Emperor realm, the strongest among them is a 6th Order God Emperor. In the void of the 8 Desolation 6 directions, a figure appeared. He looked at his compass with a smile on his face. In the next moment, his figure disappeared. 10 minutes later, in another part of the 8 Desolation 6 directions, a large group of people passed through layers of obstacles and stepped into the void. They had 3 eyes and a powerful aura was emitted from them. There were more than 80,000 members, and the weakest was a 7th Order God King Realm expert. The strongest was a 6th Order God Emperor. 1 Void God Emperor, 6 God Emperors, and 633 God Emperors. Very soon, a figure appeared and left. The Dragon Palace can easily suppress this starry sky, and the Divine Dragon can be easily subdued. The most important thing is the 4-armed race. The Divine Dragon belongs to our 3-eyed race. Haha, this time, I'm going to subdue a Flood Dragon as my mount. Keep your spirits up. If the 4-armed race dares to snatch it from us, we'll kill them. Passionate voices could be heard from the group of people. Their faces were filled with excitement. They had to obtain the Divine Dragon. Every member of the 3-eyed race was filled with fighting spirit as they flew forward. Dragon King, the 2 races have arrived. 3 seconds after the 2 major tribes arrived, Enlai had already reported the news to Wang Xian. Inside the Dragon King Hall, the group of leaders heaved a sigh of relief when they saw the news. Let's head over too. Wang Xian stood up slowly and his eyes shone brightly. Dragon King, the 4-armed race and 3-eyed race have sent us news. Should we think of a way to take them down one by one? The Yaqui Demon Fiend and the Yaqui Demon Fiend, who were residing in the deacons of 2 large groups, received the message from the Vanguard army and immediately asked. There's no need. The biggest threat is the 2 6th Order God Emperor Realm experts. If they gather together, the Dragon Cave will be easier to attack. Wang Xian shook his head. If the 2 races gathered together, it would reduce the chances of any accidents. At that time, they could capture all of them in one fell swoop. We only have one chance. Yaqui Devil Fiend, the 2 of you try your best to injure the 2 6th Order God Emperor Realm experts. Tianjin said to the Yaqui Devil Fiend. Don't worry, we'll do it. Hee, who knows, we might be able to kill the 2 6th Order God Emperor Realm experts. The Yaqui Devil Fiend and the 8-eyed race replied confidently. Alright, let's go. With a smile on his face, Wang Xian made a move and flew out. Battle intent-filled roars reverberated throughout the Dragon Palace. Chapter 2984. Full strength of Dragon Palace below, enter the Dragon Cave. Let's go. With a command, all combat members of Dragon Palace flew into the Dragon Cave. Even Xiao Lan and Xiao Zhai entered the Dragon Cave. Xiao Lan and Xiao Zhai might be huge, but the Dragon Cave could fit them easily. Heavenly Formation, go to the 8 desolations and 6 directions and set up the summoning altar. Wang Xian ordered Heavenly Formation. Yes, Dragon King. Heavenly Formation nodded and entered the Dragon Palace. Immediately, he was teleported to the Dragon Palace on a planet in the 8 desolations and 6 directions. Crescent Plate Planet was the name of this planet. In the 8 desolations and 6 directions, the planet where the Dragon Palace was established was the most prosperous planet. It was the same for the Crescent Plate Planet. The entire planet had a population of over 10 billion. It was one of the more populated planets in the 8 desolations and 6 directions. Heavenly Formation flew out of the Ocean Dragon Palace and into the void. He waved his arm and set up an evil summoning altar with his blood. The altar shook slightly. The establishment was complete. His body moved and he immediately flew into the distance. Boom! In the next moment, a huge dragon cave appeared in the sky above the Crescent Plate Planet. The huge dragon cave was even bigger than the Crescent Plate Planet. Why is the sky dark? Why is there such a huge thing in the sky above us? What's that? What's going on? The people on the Crescent Plate Planet suddenly felt the sky turning dark. They were horrified when they saw the huge dragon cave in the sky. Boom boom. The dragon cave rumbled and flew towards the depths of the 8 desolations and 6 directions at high speed. SSS, look ahead. That's the sculpture of a divine dragon. Is that the war machine of the Dragon Palace? What a terrifying aura. It's so huge. It can crush a planet directly. What are the Dragon Palace doing? This is the first time the Dragon Palace has shown such terrifying war machines. The people on the Crescent Plate Planet were shocked. In the next moment, something even more shocking happened. The Dragon Cave disappeared before their eyes at a terrifying speed. Such a speed was shocking. The appearance of the war machines of the Dragon Palace in the 8 desolations and 6 directions spread like wildfire across the starry sky. Yaki Demon Fiend, go meet up with the 2 races. We'll fight in the space in front of Planet 9 Destruction. Wang Xian stood at the front of the Dragon Cave and instructed Baki Devilish. It's Dragon King. The 2 of them nodded, took out their communication stone plates, and immediately flew towards the 2 tribes of them. The Dragon Cave shuttled back and forth in all directions. Such a colossus was exceptionally eye-catching, leaving countless people incredibly shocked. Over at the Lioli region, the Region Master and the other Emperor Gods immediately rushed towards the 8 desolates and 6 directions when they received the news. Sacred Region Hongfengyan also flew toward the 8 desolate 6 directions through the teleportation formation. With the speed of the Dragon Cave, they soon arrived in front of the 9 Destruction Planet. The huge Dragon Cave stopped in the void. The arrival of the Dragon Cave shocked the people on 9 Destruction Planet. What's going on? Were those the war machines of the Dragon Palace? How terrifying! What is Dragon Palace doing here? Could it be that experts from the center of the universe have arrived? Everyone looked on in amazement. With the speed of their advance army, it will take them 10 hours to reach us. Enlai went out for a stroll and passed on information in real time. Wang Xian and the rest nodded their heads. The advance army of the 3-eyed race and 4-armed race wasn't the main force of the 2 superpowers. Instead, it was a mixed force. When tens of thousands of people flew over, they had to consider God King realm experts. Hence, their speed wasn't very fast. Currently, the Dragon Palace had completely grasped the situation of their enemies. They were just waiting for their arrival. We're here. Let's head over. 2 hours later, within the teleportation formation on the 9 Destruction Planet, Region Master Lioli and the other Emperor Gods rushed over. They lifted their heads and looked at the Dragon Cave in the void. This seems to be a modified demon cave. This Dragon Cave is dozens of times bigger than a 3rd Order God Emperor Demon Cave. Looking at the Dragon Cave, their hearts skipped a beat. They looked at each other and flew upwards. An Emperor God is here. The citizens of 9 Min Planet could feel the solemn atmosphere at that moment. Dragon King. Dragon King. In front of the Dragon Cave, Region Master and the rest flew over. Seeing Wang Xian standing at the entrance, they immediately greeted him respectfully. Wang Xian looked at them and raised an eyebrow. Dragon King, we heard that the Dragon Palace is in trouble. We're here to provide support. Region Master bowed and said to Wang Xian. Now that they knew that the Dragon King could easily kill the experts from the center of the universe, they were even more respectful. It's fine. Wang Xian looked at them and shook his head. The Dragon Palace has been kind to us. We'd like to do our part. Region Master and the rest pursed their lips and said after a moment of hesitation, we appreciate your good intentions, but even without your help, there won't be much of a difference. Prime Minister Turtle said to them. This slightly condescending sentence caused them to be slightly taken aback. Let's go back. We don't need your help. Tianjin also smiled. This, Region Master and the rest were at a loss for words. You guys just watch from the back. If the Dragon Palace can't hold them off, it's useless even if you guys are here. Mao Zedong looked at them. Around them, the experts of Dragon Palace also showed a kind smile, and a trace of power was released. The sudden might froze all of them. Region Master and the rest widened their eyes as they looked behind Wang Xian and around them. There were 7,000 to 8,000 members standing at the entrance of the Dragon Cave. They looked around and realized that none of them were weaker than a First Order God Emperor. 7,000 to 8,000 members of the Dragon Palace all had the strength of an Emperor God? They sucked in a breath of cold air, and the shock on their faces was extreme. For a moment, they were speechless. Then we'll wait for the Dragon Palace to defeat the enemy. Region Master and the rest smiled bitterly. There were 7,000 to 8,000 Emperor Gods in the Dragon Palace. It wouldn't make a difference whether they were there or not. Wang Xian nodded and waved his arm at the Domain Master. You guys just watch from the side. This is a battle of the Dragon Palace. If we lose, you guys don't get involved. Some vitality fluid entered the domain master's body. He was recovering rapidly from the injuries inflicted by the evil previously. Thank you, Dragon King. The region lord's body trembled, and he bowed deeply with an excited expression. Let's go. We'll watch from the back, he said to the group of emperor gods behind him before flying towards the 9 destruction planet. Wang Xian looked past them and continued to look at the void in front. Dragon King, the 8-branched devilish spirits have joined the 2 major tribes. At this time, Prime Minister Turtle reported. Chapter 2985, Dragon Palace vs. Cosmos Center Races 1-inch Elder Kuei, you're finally here. In the void of all directions, rocks and decaying ancient buildings floated in the void. Orochi, who was residing in Deacon Qian's body, looked at the army in front of him. A glimmer of light flashed across his eyes as he flew over. Deacon Qian, you've made a great contribution this time. How's the situation now? Elder Kuei and the rest smiled when they saw Orochi flying over. Elder Kuei, the situation isn't looking good. When I flew over, the 3-eyed tribe's deacon flew in another direction. I have a feeling that the 3-eyed tribe's people have entered as well. Orochi said with a frown. HM? They're here too? Elder Kuei narrowed his eyes, revealing a chilly glint. How's the situation over there? Elder Kuei asked. The situation over there isn't looking good either. Xiao Hashan and that bunch of idiots are trapped in a secret realm, and we can't even contact them. This is the last message he sent. Orochi took out a communication stone plate and passed it to Elder Kuei. What happened to the other disciples? Elder Kuei's expression changed and he asked with a frown. Xiao Hashan led a group of disciples to attack the Dragon Palace with the 3-eyed tribe's people. I stayed here to restrain the 3-eyed tribe's deacon. Initially, everything went smoothly, and we were able to suppress the Dragon Palace with our strength. But the information we received was wrong. The Dragon Palace has around 100 God Emperors, and they have a huge war machine that can contend against a 4th-order God Emperor. Although the Dragon Palace was still no match for Xiao Hashan, it was lured into a mystery land by the people of the Dragon Palace. It should be a mystery land built by the Mo Han clan. They are still inside. Orochi said to Elder Kuei, able to contend against a 4th-order God Emperor? It seems like the Dragon Palace isn't that weak. Can you confirm if they really have a divine dragon? Elder Kuei asked with a slight frown. Elder, the Dragon Palace isn't very strong. They have a 4th-order God Emperor realm cultivation at most. If it wasn't for me restraining the 3-eyed tribe's deacon, I could have annihilated the Dragon Palace by myself. Orochi said, not taking the Dragon Palace seriously at all. As he spoke, he glanced behind him. Elder, with our strength, we can easily destroy the Dragon Palace several times. I'm not sure if there are any pure-blooded divine dragons in the Dragon Palace, but I'm sure that they have alternative dragons with divine dragon bloodline. He added with a smile. Even if it's a semi-dragon, it's still a great opportunity for us. When Elder Kuei heard his affirmation, a blazing look appeared in his eyes. Ha, Elder Kuei, I'll get you a lesser dragon mount when the time comes. Orochi laughed and said, Hee hee, we still have the 3-eyed tribe as our opponent. We can't be careless. Elder Kuei's face was full of smiles. Although he did not respond directly, he patted Orochi's shoulder happily and said, You have made a great contribution this time. The tribe will not forget your contribution. Congratulations, Deacon Qian. Deacon Qian is really lucky. At the side, several deacons also said enviously. Orochi exchanged a few pleasantries before following Elder Kuei and leading the way. Orochi had completely integrated into the 4-armed tribe. Elder Kuei and the rest did not have any doubts. At the same time, at another location, Mo Sha was also standing in front of the advance army of the 3-eyed tribe. He was chatting happily with an old man from the 3-eyed tribe. The advance army of the 2 tribes flew towards the direction of Wang Xian and the rest. As there were many Divine King-level disciples, their speed was not very fast. Dragon King, the 4-armed tribe will be the first to arrive. However, the 3-eyed tribe has also increased their speed under the guidance of Mo Sha. Both parties should reach us in 2 minutes. A few hours later, Anlai reported one piece of information after another. All of them will arrive in half an hour, right? Wang Xian squinted his eyes. Anlai nodded. Everything is in place. Tianjin said. Most of the experts of the Dragon Palace are hidden in the depths of the Dragon Cave. Xiao Lan's residence is also hidden around the Dragon Cave. Prime Minister Turtle said with a smile. Success or failure depends on this. Whether we can gain some time for development depends on this battle. Wang Xian murmured as he stared ahead. Half an hour passed quickly. Wang Xian stared ahead with glistening eyes. Time ticked by. Behind the Dragon Cave on the Nine-Min planet, many people looked over curiously. The territorial lord and the group of god emperors were also watching closely. Boom boom boom. Half an hour later, a powerful aura came from the void in front of them. Everyone was shocked when they felt the aura. They're here. Wang Xian stood on the Dragon Cave and stared ahead. An army of 100,000 people was flying towards them. Even though they looked a little loose, their aura was not to be underestimated. Especially in front of them, the aura of a sixth-order god emperor was not concealed at all. Around him, there were 5 to 6 fifth-order god emperor experts. Interesting. I didn't expect the Dragon Palace to be waiting for us here. Elder Kuei, perhaps the Dragon Palace is waiting for us to surrender. Elder, let's settle the Dragon Palace before the three-eyed tribe arrives. It was the four-armed tribe. Orochi stared ahead and laughed as he spoke to Elder Kuei. Excitement flashed in Elder Kuei's eyes. He stared at the Dragon Cave in front of him with glistening eyes. Everyone unleash your aura. Elder Kuei ordered in a deep voice. All the members of the four-armed tribe shouted. Boom boom boom. In an instant, everyone unleashed their powerful aura, causing the entire void to change color. A suffocating aura surged forward. At this moment, even the residents of the Nine-Min planet who were far away were pale and filled with fear. The god lords flying through the air paled, their bodies trembling as they plummeted to the ground. What aura is this? Why is there such a terrifying aura? How many god emperors are required to unleash such an aura? Experts from the center of the universe. Those are experts from the center of the universe. Gasps of shock could be heard from the residents of the planet as they looked at the void in horror. Are those people from the Dragon Palace? Do you know your crimes for trapping the disciples of the four-armed tribe in a secret realm? At this time, Deacon Qian, who was staying with Orochi, questioned coldly. Four-armed tribe, may I ask how our Dragon Palace has offended you? Why are you attacking us? Prime Minister Turtle looked at Orochi and started acting. Chapter 2986, Dragon Palace vs. Cosmic Center Tribes 2 in Chihi. Offend us? You're not qualified to offend us. I'll give you a way out. Submit to us. Orochi stared at Prime Minister Turtle and declared proudly. The arrogance of the Cosmic Center Tribes was on full display. If we don't submit to you, are you going to annihilate our Dragon Palace? Prime Minister Turtle stared at Orochi and asked coldly. Submit to us is your only way out. Without waiting for Orochi to speak, Elder Kuei took a step forward and a terrifying aura erupted as he spoke in a chilling tone. A surge of sixth-order God Emperor Realm aura surged out from the void. Sensing this aura, all the members of the Dragon Palace revealed a solemn expression. I'll give you 10 seconds to consider. If you don't submit in 10 seconds, we, the Four-Armed Tribe, will have no choice but to suppress your Dragon Palace. Elder Kwang said in a condescending tone. The Three-Eyed Tribe is here. At this time, Dark Blaze's voice sounded. His words made Wang Xian and the rest heave a sigh of relief. If they attacked the Four-Armed Tribe directly, the Dragon Palace would be able to annihilate them. However, the Three-Eyed Tribe would arrive when they were annihilated. At that time, the Three-Eyed Tribe would be on their guard. In that case, it would be too difficult to kill a sixth-order God Emperor. They had to wait for the two major tribes to arrive before they could make a move. However, the experts of the Four-Armed Tribe were too arrogant. Giving the Dragon Palace 10 seconds to submit, all the members of the Dragon Palace had cold killing intent in their eyes. Elder Kuei, the Three-Eyed Tribe is here. Exclamations came from the rear of the four-armed tribe's vanguard. Elder Kuei's expression changed slightly as he looked behind him. They're so fast? Orochi said with a solemn expression as a tinge of relief flashed in his eyes. Eighth Elder, it's the four-armed tribe. They're one step ahead of us. That's the Dragon Cave of the Dragon Palace. Mo Sha and the experts of the three-eyed tribe who were residing in Yang Feng's body had arrived. Seeing the four-armed tribe ahead, he immediately informed Elder Kuei. The people of the Dragon Palace are waiting for us here? What are they trying to do? Surrender? The four-armed tribe is pretty fast. The eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe had a cold look in his eyes as he led his team forward. Three-eyed tribe, you can go back now. This void belongs to us. Elder Yun of the four-armed tribe looked behind him and said with a gloomy face, Four-armed tribe, don't you think you're speaking worse than a 3-year-old? The eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe led a group of subordinates and flew toward the four-armed tribe's position. He scanned the Dragon Palace from top to bottom. Elder Chi of the four-armed tribe snorted coldly. The entire four-armed tribe's aura changed and pressed down on the three-eyed tribe. Courting death. Boom boom boom. Demon Fiend roared and his aura surged out as he charged at them. The other three-eyed race members did not fear him at all and welcomed him with their auras. Boom. In the middle of them, a terrifying sound erupted from the void. The two tribes have at least 1,000 emperor gods. Over 1,000. Too strong. They are simply too strong. Even if the Dragon Palace is equally strong, the difference is too great. Over 1,000 emperor gods. Is this the power of the central force of the universe? Invincible. In the void above the Nine-Min planet, the people of the resplendent star galaxy felt the aura in the void and turned pale. Over 1,000 emperor gods. There were only 100 emperor gods in the resplendent star galaxy in the past. The Dragon Palace was strong now, but could they withstand it? In their opinion, they could not. Some of them had worried looks on their faces. In the void ahead, both parties were facing each other. Elder Yun of the four-armed tribe and the eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe exchanged glances. Their eyes were filled with coldness. The atmosphere was heavy. Dragon King, they don't take us seriously at all. Tianjin said plainly as he looked at the two major forces in front of him. Wang Xian chuckled, watched quietly, and waited for an opportunity. Let's decide who is stronger when we see the opportunity. After the tense atmosphere hesitated for tens of seconds, a deacon of the three-eyed tribe spoke to break the deadlock. The eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe looked at the deacon before turning to the four-armed tribe. I naturally have no objections. After we see the opportunity, we will decide whether to take action or not. Elder Yun of the four-armed tribe replied plainly. From the simple clash of auras, they understood each other's strength. If both parties were to fight, there was a high chance that both parties would be injured. Fighting to the death without seeing any fortuitous encounters was obviously not a wise choice. They quickly came to an agreement and looked at the Dragon Palace. They had locked onto their target this time. All members of the Dragon Palace, come out and kneel in the void. The eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe ordered. You want us to kneel in the void? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he heard him. The forces in the central force of the universe are too strong. This Dragon Palace is in deep trouble. Everyone on the Nine-Min planet was shocked when they heard this. Only the Domain Lord and the rest watched quietly. They were puzzled. What were the Dragon King and the rest waiting for? Not good, eighth elder. Someone from the four-armed tribe is ambushing us from the right. But at this time, an exclamation came from the three-eyed tribe. A voice that no one expected to hear rang out. The voice came from Mo Sha, who was residing in Yang Feng's body. His voice rang in the ears of the eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe. The eighth elder was shocked as he looked to the right. At this time, the dagger in Mo Sha's hand surged with violent energy as he attacked the eighth elder. The eighth elder was shocked when he sensed the attack coming from behind. However, the distance between them was only a few meters. A fifth-order god emperor attacking a sixth-order god emperor with a few meters of distance. In a situation where he was caught off guard, there was no way for him to react. He could only use the energy in his body to defend himself. The Mo Shah's full-powered attack landed heavily on the body of the three-eyed tribe's elder. The powerful force sent him flying. He spat out a mouthful of blood as his back was pierced through. What? Everyone from the three-eyed tribe was shocked as they looked at this scene in disbelief. Why did Deacon Yang Feng attack the eighth elder all of a sudden? Even the four-armed tribe members on the opposite side were slightly taken aback. Their gazes were fixed on the eighth elder. Boom. Just as the four-armed tribe was in a daze, Yamada no Orochi made his move. He stared coldly at Elder Kwang in front of him with a chilling gaze. A black dagger was also thrust towards Elder Kwang's head. At the same time, a millstone flew out from his spatial ring. 5 Elements Great Millstone. The 5 Elements Great Millstone, which contained his strongest attack, shot towards Yamada no Orochi. This sudden turn of events caused everyone to be incomparably shocked. Chapter 2987. Dragon Palace vs. Cosmic Center Races 3 Bam! Boom! A terrifying sound of attack rang out. It was a sudden attack and a sudden explosion. Elder Kwang of the four-armed tribe was also sent flying forward. Compared to the 8th elder of the three-eyed tribe, Elder Kwang was in a worse state. This was because the 8-eyed tribe had Wang Xian's 5 Elements Great Grind. His full-powered attack and the 5 Elements Great Grind landed on Elder Kwang, who could not react in time. His head directly exploded. The 5 Elements Great Grind's attack landed on his body. The terrifying attack caused Elder Kwang's body to crumble. His eyes widened as he stared at the 8-eyed tribe in disbelief. Why would his subordinate, who had been fawning over him, launch a sneak attack on him? He could not understand. The rest of the people could not figure it out either. My chance is here. The Dragon Palace and the Dragon Cave, which they had never taken seriously, had never caught their attention. At this moment, in the center of the Dragon Cave, Wang Xian's eyes lit up. My chance is here. Be it the 8-eyed tribe or the devilish tribe, they sent the elders of the four-armed tribe and three-eyed tribe flying towards the empty space in the center. The attack of the Dragon Cave was waiting for this moment. Attack! Bam bam bam! The heavenly array at the side let out a low roar, and the surroundings exploded. That was the sound of the concealment array breaking. Following which, a wave of energy formed in the mouth of the dragon head in front of the Dragon Cave. The destructive energy blasted towards the heavily injured elders of the four-armed tribe and three-eyed tribe. This was the strongest attack of the Dragon Cave. It was an attack that could kill a 6th-order God Emperor realm expert. Even though he had attacked 2 6th-order God Emperors this time, the 2 of them had suffered heavy injuries. Both of them were weaker than one of them when they were at their peak. It was especially so for Elder Kwang, who had his head blown off by the 8-eyed tribe and the 5 Elements Great Grind. The 5 Elements Great Grind could kill a 5th-order God Emperor after it was upgraded. Boom! Everything happened in an instant. The Dragonhead's attack was aimed at Elder Kwang and 8th Elder. What? They were already injured by the sudden attack of their own subordinates, and their bodies were still in midair. At this moment, the threat of death shrouded his heart. The 2 of them turned their heads, and their pupils constricted slightly, revealing a look of shock in their eyes. Buzz? Feeling the threat, the 2 of them did not hesitate and immediately tried to escape. However, at this moment, streaks of 9-colored light enveloped their bodies, causing them to stiffen slightly. From this 9-colored light, they could feel a binding force. If it was any other time, they would have been able to break free. However, they were injured, and before they could break free, the attack that made them feel the threat of death had already hit them. Damn it! The 2 of them roared with bloodshot eyes. They couldn't understand what was happening. Elder! At this moment, all the experts and disciples of the three-eyed race and four-armed race on both sides came to their senses, and expressions of rage appeared on their faces. Damn Dragon Palace, we'll destroy you! The deacons of the 2 tribes roared in anger. When they saw the attack released by the Dragon Palace, they immediately prepared to block it. You're the ones who should die. However, at this moment, Orochi and Devilish attacked them without any hesitation. You're courting death. How dare you betray your race? When they saw the attack of Orochi, all the people from the two tribes were enraged. Since the attack was stopped by the two of them, they could only attack Orochi. Arg, arg, arg. Fuck, fuck, fuck. A terrifying sound rang out, mixed with screams of agony. The screams came from the center and Orochi, who was being besieged. The attacks from the dragon cave engulfed Elder Kwang and 8th Elder, drowning them instantly. The screams came from there. Orochi and Devilish were severely injured by the besiegement and fled in the direction of the Dragon Palace in a panic. Save the Elder! Save the Elder first! When the experts from the two tribes heard the screams of the Elder, they shouted in horror. They quickly flew towards the center of the two tribes. When they saw the two figures, their expressions changed drastically. Yang Feng and the rest must have been controlled. They must have set us up. One of the deacons bellowed with an awful look when he saw that the Elder was left with only his head. They flew over and grabbed 8th Elder's head immediately. Cough, cough, cough. 8th Elder of the three-eyed tribe was on the verge of death. He coughed and spat out a large amount of blood. If it wasn't for his tenacious vitality and the fact that someone beside him had taken some of the brunt of the attack, he would have died. Even so, this was the heaviest injury he had ever suffered in his life. He almost couldn't fight any longer. Dragon Palace, I want you dead. At this moment, an enraged roar was heard from the side. Elder Kwang of the Four-Armed Tribe was floating in the void at this moment. He was covered in blood. There was a broken armor in front of him, and he was shivering all over. At this moment, he was no longer as mighty as he was just now. His gloomy eyes were staring in the direction of the Dragon Palace, filled with hatred. It's still uncertain who will die. At this moment, the Yamada Devil Fiend, who was escaping towards the Dragon Cave, tore open the body he was residing in. Blood flowed from his body as he roared with a sinister expression. They are indeed controlled. Everyone from the Four-Armed Tribe and Three-Eyed Tribe looked over, and their expressions changed. Their life force is declining. One of them isn't even a second-order God Emperor, and the other isn't even a fifth-order God Emperor. Above the Dragon Cave, Tianjin looked at the detection stone plate with a faint smile. You want us to submit? You want to destroy us? Wang Xian smiled when he heard Tianjin's words. He stared at all of them. Let's give it a try then. As he spoke, the unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him, and he flew forward slowly. In the next moment, dragon roars came from within the Dragon Cave. 9 wind divine dragons swayed their huge bodies and dashed out of the Dragon Cave, circling around Wang Xian. Those are divine dragons. In the void ahead, everyone from the two tribes was stunned when they saw the wind divine dragons. Their eyes were burning with passion. Their faces were filled with agitation. Divine dragons. They are definitely divine dragons with extremely pure bloodlines. At this moment, even the heavily injured 8th Elder and Elder Kwang were burning with passion. Do you think you can destroy us just because you want to kill us? Wishful thinking. If I'm not wrong, it will take a long time before you can use that kind of attack again. Elder Kwang bellowed with a cold expression. Don't be anxious. The people from our Dragon Palace are not out yet. Wang Xian sneered when he heard Elder Kwang's words. He waved his arm. Chapter 2988. Roar, roar. The densely packed roars caused the entire void to tremble. Rumble, roar. Soon after, a devouring dragon with 18 claws flew out of the hole. Among the million devouring dragons, the weakest was an 8th-order God King. There were about 4,000 Emperor-level devouring dragons at the front. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws, exuding a ferocious aura. When all the devouring dragons flew out of the Dragon Cave, the expressions of the people from the two races in the void ahead changed drastically. This is just the beginning. Seeing the change in their expressions, Wang Xian revealed a faint smile. Woo-woo, woo-woo. Just as he finished his sentence, Xiao Lan, who was hidden on both sides of the Dragon Cave, let out a roar. Their voices seemed to have come from the ancient times. At this time, Mad Dragon species, Royal Dragon species, heaven lightning earth and fire dragon species, and poison horn dragon species flew out of the cave and landed on Little Blue's body. Xiao Lan opened its mouth and a black hole appeared in front of it. In the next moment, Little Blue's body appeared behind the three-eyed tribe and four-armed tribe, blocking their path of retreat. The entire dragon palace went berserk. The oppressive might of close to 8,000 emperor gods charged towards them. At this moment, everyone from the four-armed race and three-eyed race was shocked. Their eyes swept around, and cold sweat appeared on their foreheads. Everyone on the 9-Min planet was dumbfounded. They were at a loss for words. This was the full strength of the Dragon Palace? What's going on? What's going on? Why are there so many experts in the Dragon Palace? Didn't they say there were only 100 god emperors? Elder Kwang, who was severely injured, widened his eyes when he saw them being surrounded and felt the strength of the Dragon Palace. We have been tricked. Elder, what do we do? What do we do? At this moment, everyone from the four-armed race and three-eyed race had cold sweat on their foreheads. They looked at their surroundings in horror, completely losing the arrogance they had before. 7 to 8,000 god emperors, a total of 7 to 8,000 god emperors, a few times more than them. Moreover, the aura of the two terrifying beasts made them tremble. This is all the strength of the Dragon Palace. As long as we run back, the strength of our tribe can rush over and easily destroy them. Elder Kuei roared with an incomparably gloomy face. Their gazes swept across the surroundings, but they did not sense any combat strength above the 5th Order God Emperor realm. This made him even more furious. Even without a 6th Order God Emperor realm expert, he was nearly killed. He wanted the Dragon Palace to pay a heavy price. Elder Kuei, our space has been sealed. They have powerful magi. We can't escape back to the Divine Kingdom in an instant. But very quickly, terrified shouts rang out. The members of the three-eyed tribe shuddered when they heard the voice. They realized that they could not return to their god kingdom in an instant, and their hearts were pounding furiously. We've been locked down. Everyone from the two tribes felt their hearts sink. We've locked down the entire space. Don't even think of escaping or sending any messages. Just wait for your death. The injured Yamada Devilsha returned to Wang Xian's side and laughed with a murderous look. Wang Xian did not give them any chance to escape. He roared and gave his order. Millions of devouring dragons roared and charged towards the two demon tribes. Swish, swish, swish. The dragon cavern slowly moved forward, and the countless arrows of the arrow dragons shot towards the two groups of races. The Mad Dragon, Imperial Dragon, Heaven Lightning Earthly Fire Dragon, Venom Horn Dragon, and the others behind the two demon tribes unleashed their ferocious aura and charged over. The Spike Dragon disappeared into the void in a flash. The 9 million combat members of the Dragon Palace unleashed their full strength. Not good, not good. Damn it. Block them immediately. The members of the two demon tribes turned pale as they shouted. Damn it, how could this be? The 8th elder of the three-eyed dragon race, who only had one head left, roared in fear. They were here to obtain opportunities, not to throw away their lives. How could this be? The wrath of the divine dragon caused countless dragon species to overturn the seas and rivers as they surrounded the two races. Close to 8,000 emperor gods unleashed the first round of attacks. Countless dragon flames and dragon breaths surged towards the center. Everyone from the two demon tribes was enveloped by the flames. Resist. The weakest member of the Dragon Palace is an 8th Order God King Realm expert. How can they be so strong? The god emperors of the two demon tribes roared in fear as they unleashed their defenses. Some of the experts had an ugly expression on their faces as they had a bad feeling about this. The weakest member of the Dragon Palace was an 8th Order God King Realm expert. What kind of concept was this? Even the core army of their demon tribes could not compare to this. Arg, I can't hold them off. Kill, kill, kill. As the energy engulfed over, all the experts of the two races who were below the God Emperor realm screamed out in fear. They were too strong. They were not on the same level. Other than the similar number of 5th Order God Emperor realm experts, The rest were 7 to 8 times weaker. With such a huge difference in strength, they could not escape to their own god country. Was there any chance of survival? Break through, break through. When the heavily injured Elder Kwang saw this scene, his eyes almost popped out of their sockets, and he roared with all his might. 2 Fifth-Order God Emperor Realm experts protected him as they tried to break through the encirclement. Break through. The group of God Emperors roared as they tried to break through the encirclement. As for those below the God Emperor realm, they could only pray for themselves. Elders, deacons, save us. Cries of agony rang through the air. Under the Dragon Palace's attack, more than half of the 180,000 members of the 2 demon tribes died. The God Emperors could not even take care of themselves. How could they care about the other demon tribes? Kill them all. Leave no one alive. Wang Xian's face turned cold as he watched them break through the encirclement. Swish. He flew forward at a terrifying speed, his eyes locked onto the 8th elder of the Three-Eyed Clan, who only had a head left. Watch out. Sensing Wang Xian's approach, the deacon who was holding the 8th elder's head was horrified. He wielded a long sword and slashed at Wang Xian. Bam! Bam! Wang Xian did not dodge. The Tai Chi dragon plate around him rotated and blocked the terrifying sword radiance. Cut. His palm turned into a dragon claw and grabbed at the deacon. The deacon was horrified as he dodged. However, the 8th elder's head was in Wang Xian's hand. The 8th elder screamed in fear when he saw that he was caught. Chapter 2989. Dragon Palace vs. Cosmic Center, Tribes 5-inch. The first one. Wang Xian grabbed the head of the Three-Eyed Elder with a cold look in his eyes. With a swing of his arm, he threw the head to the back. Behind him, Tianzhen, who was setting up a formation in the dragon cave, waved his arm and grabbed the head, locking it in place. Let go of me. Let go of me now. Otherwise, the Three-Eyed Tribe will not let you off so easily. The 8th elder of the Three-Eyed Tribe screamed in fear. I'll see your entire Three-Eyed Tribe perish. Tianzhen swept a glance at him and said coldly, Kill. After capturing the Three-Eyed Elder, Wang Xian immediately attacked the Four-Armed Tribe's Elder Kwang. His terrifying speed, powerful defense, and offensive power shocked the Four-Armed Tribe's experts. Kill that bastard from the Dragon Palace. Several of the 5th Order God Emperor Realm Four-Armed Tribesmen roared with killing intent. Roar. But right at this time, a wind divine dragon swayed its gigantic body and charged towards the few 5th Order God Emperor Realm experts who were attacking Wang Xian. The instant the wind divine dragon appeared, Roving Demon appeared behind one of the 5th Order God Emperor Realm experts of the Four-Armed Tribe. His sickle-like arms pierced towards their heads. The sudden attack caused the God Emperor's body to stiffen. You're courting death. Wang Xian snorted. With a swing of his arm, the 5 Elements Grindstone attacked the expert who was killed by Roving Demon. Bam! Roving Demon's attack and the 5 Elements Grindstone's attack sent that expert flying. Wang Xian moved and continued to attack Elder Kuei of the Four-Armed Tribe. Shit! Elder Kwang was filled with fear when he saw Wang Xian locking onto him. Stop him! Stop him! He screamed in fear. However, the Four-Armed Tribe was much weaker than the Dragon Palace. How could they stop him? Bam! Wang Xian's dragon claw clawed at him. The severely injured Elder Kwang wanted to escape, but the 5 Elements Grindstone released a restraining force that trapped him. Bam! The huge dragon claw grabbed his body. Wang Xian flapped his unbeginning saint wings and left. Not good. Elder Kuei has been caught. One of the deacons roared in horror. However, at this moment, the rest of the Emperor Gods had no time to care about Elder Kwang. All of them were pale as they faced the members of Dragon Palace in front of them. Let me go. Our Four-Armed Tribe has 7th Order God Emperor Realm experts, and even more 6th Order God Emperor Realm experts. Killing us will only bring disaster to your Dragon Palace. Elder Kwang struggled free from Wang Xian's dragon claw and bellowed with a pale face. Noisy! Wang Xian landed in front of the dragon cave. With a swing of his arm, a sharp sword materialized in front of him and pierced towards him. Screams of agony could be heard, causing him to cry out in pain. Jia jia jia, in order to severely injure the two of you, we have gone through a lot of trouble. Even we are heavily injured, don't think that you will die so easily. The injured Yaki and Yaki revealed cold expressions. They waved their arms and black liquids landed on their bodies. Very soon, an incomparably shrill voice rang out from Elder Kwang's mouth. When the eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe saw this, his face turned extremely pale. What are you going to do? What is the Dragon Palace trying to do? As long as you don't kill us, we will agree to anything. The eighth elder of the three-eyed tribe roared in fear. Jia jia jia, you want the Dragon Palace to kneel and submit? Now let us see you kneel and submit. Yaki stared at the two elders of the three-eyed tribe and the four-armed tribe and said coldly, even if you kill me, I won't kneel. The four-armed tribe will annihilate you. Don't be arrogant. Elder Kwang bellowed with killing intent. Since you aren't willing to kneel, what's the use of your legs? Yaki said coldly. With a swing of his arm, drops of liquid landed on his legs. The liquid immediately turned into horrifying worms that gnawed on his legs. An incomparably painful scream came from his mouth. Wang Xian swept an indifferent glance across the battlefield before turning his attention back to the battlefield. He wasn't affected by the torture from Yaki and Yaki. The Dragon Palace had no grudges with the four-armed tribe and three-eyed tribe, but they wanted to annihilate the Dragon Palace and make it submit. Kneel and submit? Since that was the case, they had to bear the Dragon Palace's revenge. They better not tell the other tribes the way to enter this place. Otherwise, I'll let the Yaki and Yaki torture you for a period of time before killing you. Wang Xian's heart was filled with killing intent. It was an overwhelming massacre in front of him. The weakest in the Dragon Palace was at the 8th Order God King realm and close to 8,000 God Emperors. In a short period of time, the God King realm experts of the two tribes were all killed. Only 700 to 800 God Emperors were struggling to resist. However, it was only a matter of time before they died. SSS, the forces in the center of the universe. Over 1,000 God Emperors are being slaughtered by the Dragon Palace. They don't even have the strength to resist. Look at the strength of the Dragon Palace members. The weakest is at the 8th Order God King realm and there are close to 2 million of them. This is too terrifying. They only used 1% of their strength to annihilate our bedazzling Star Palace. How terrifying! The citizens of the bedazzling Star Palace looked on in shock. The territorial lord and the rest of the God Emperors pursed their lips. Wasn't it just like what the surrounding people had said? There were close to 8,000 God Emperors in the Dragon Palace. 1% was still 70 to 80, not to mention the other members of the Dragon Palace. The combined strength of the other forces in the bedazzling Star Palace was less than 1% of the Dragon Palace. The gap was huge. Screams rang out incessantly. The powerful dragons of the Dragon Palace swayed in the void and attacked the God Emperors of the two tribes. The God Emperors fell one after another. Even a 5th Order God Emperor realm expert would be killed under such a siege. The battle ahead was an eye-opener for everyone in the bedazzling Star Palace. Close to 10,000 God Emperors were slaughtering each other. More than 1,000 God Emperors had fallen. In the Dragon Cave, the 8th Elder of the Three-Eyed Tribe and Elder Kwang, who was screaming in pain, watched their clansmen fall one after another. Their eyes were filled with despair. When they entered the bedazzling Star Palace, they thought that it would be a fortuitous encounter. They were even looking forward to getting a flood dragon as a mount. But now, Dragon King, their communication stone plates didn't send out the method to enter the bedazzling Star Palace. I'm not sure if the others did. At this time, Tianzhen, who was fiddling with 2 communication stone plates, said, let me check it out. As Wang Xian spoke, he waved his arm and grabbed the head of the Three-Eyed Tribe's 8th Elder. Soul capture. A surge of energy entered his mind. The heavily injured and weakened 8th Elder of the Three-Eyed Tribe had no strength to resist. Chapter 2990, An Opportunity to Fight Back on Wang Wang. Within the Dragon Lair, Wang Xian was reading the memories of the 8th elder of the three-eyed tribe. In the void ahead, the members of the Dragon Palace were wreaking havoc as they surrounded the god emperors of the two tribes. The outcome of this battle had been completely determined. None of the vanguard troops of the two tribes had managed to escape. Die. A few minutes later, the Wind Divine Dragon, Roving Chitian, and Roving Crab surrounded the last two Fifth-Order God Emperors. The 1,900,000 members of the Dragon Palace surrounded them and stared at them coldly. No! Along with a scream filled with unwillingness, it signaled the end of the battle. Wang Xian opened his eyes, which were shining brightly. Summon your Void God Kingdom. He stared at the head in front of him and ordered in a deep voice. The 8th elder of the three-eyed tribe opened his mouth. 5 seconds later, a Void God Kingdom appeared in front of the dragon lair. What did you do to him? What kind of weird sorcery did you use? Elder Kwang of the four-armed tribe screamed in horror when he saw the Void God Kingdom of the three-eyed tribe's elder. His life force is too strong. Yaqui Devil Fiend, teach him another lesson. Wang Xian looked at Elder Kwang and instructed Yaqui Devil Fiend. Yes, Dragon King. We are good at this. Yaqui Devil Fiend and Yaqui Devil Fiend sized Elder Kwang up coldly. Soon, even more miserable screams were heard. This time, it wasn't just simple torture, but also draining his life force. Wang Xian stood by the side and digested the information he had just received. The good news was that the three-eyed tribe did not tell the other tribes about the entrance to the bedazzling starry sky. This was because to the three-eyed tribe, it would take a month for the real army to arrive. It wouldn't be too late to tell them then. Moreover, they would never expect all of them to die here. Therefore, it wasn't important to tell the other tribes about the way to enter the bedazzling starry sky. Apart from that, Wang Xian had also obtained a lot of useful information from the 8th Elder's memories. Dragon King. All of them have been taken care of. At this time, more than 1 million members of the Dragon Palace flew over and greeted Wang Xian respectfully. Very good. Wang Xian revealed a satisfied expression. Bring the resources back. Prime Minister Turtle, you'll be in charge of arranging the advancement. It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle immediately nodded. All right. Wang Xian looked at Elder Chiu of the four-armed tribe, who was screaming in pain. His eyes were filled with coldness as he looked at his miserable state. He swung his arm and grabbed him by the neck. Kill me, just kill me. Haha, it won't be long before our four-armed tribe exterminates all of you in Dragon Palace. None of you will be spared. Ha ha. Elder Kwang roared in a frenzy. Wang Xian let out a cold snort. It's still uncertain who will be the one to destroy who. As he spoke, he immediately used soul assimilation. In the battle of Soul Devourer's power, Elder Kwang, who was on the verge of death, had no power to resist. Waves of information flowed into Wang Xian's mind, causing him to reveal a faint smile. The entrance of the four-armed tribe did not spread out either. After ordering them to summon their god nations back, Wang Xian swung his arm and killed the two of them. Both god nations were kept in the dragon lair. Let's go back, Wang Xian said to Enlai. Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded. Xiaolan and the rest also entered the dragon lair. In the next moment, the entire dragon lair disappeared. In the sky, there was nothing except for a slight remnant aura. Disappeared? Seeing everyone in the dragon lair and dragon palace disappear into the void, everyone on the Jioming planet was shocked. They disappeared directly. This was the power of the dragon palace. They're too strong. Even the dragon palace, a force in the center of the universe, could exterminate them easily. Some people exclaimed. The domain lord and the other emperor gods were also shocked. They exchanged looks and left immediately. The news of this battle spread across the entire resplendent starry sky. The resplendent starry sky would soon be shaken by the Dragon Palace. It would be a major earthquake. Dragon King, how's the situation now? Back in the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle, Tianzhen, and the rest asked Wang Xian. The situation is pretty good. The two races have not found the way to enter the resplendent starry sky. However, we can't be careless. The entrance to our place has appeared. Given the strength of the experts in the center of the universe, it won't take long for them to enter. Wang Xian said, Dragon King, we've obtained 2 sixth-order God Emperor corpses. I'll advance first. After I advance, we can set up some arrays at the entrances. If the 2 races don't have a 7th-order God Emperor Realm Array Master, it will be difficult to break the arrays in a short period of time. As long as we have a few years, we won't have to be afraid of them. Tianjin said. Wang Xian nodded. Tianjin, you advance first. Also, I've grasped an opportunity for us to counterattack. The 8th Desolate Land is the lair of the Ink Han clan. The Ink Han clan is a primary race in the universe. Their level is even higher than domain-level races. A primary race in the universe has supremacies. They can enter the center of the universe. The Ink Han clan is a sorcerer race. Before they were annihilated, they destroyed the race inheritance grand array and self-destructed to cover their lair. They did this to prevent their enemies from obtaining their race's inheritance and some of their treasures. Indeed, their enemies did not obtain any treasures and were unable to enter. Now, the ruins of the Ink Han clan has become a treasure trove. Many races and domain-level races are exploring this place, hoping to obtain the treasures here. I've obtained some information from the 3-eyed race and 4-armed race. We can ask and lie to bring us in to explore. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. The ruins of the Ink Han clan was a treasure trove at the edge of the center of the universe. Hundreds of domain-level races had been exploring this place all year round. However, many of the treasures in the core area had not been found. The array of the sorcerer race was not simple. Even supremacies would find it hard to barge in. Moreover, the sorcerer race was very strange. If an expert tried to break the array forcefully, it might cause a chain reaction that could cause the entire area to explode. At that time, all the treasures in the area would be destroyed. However, Enlai was different. His instantaneous movement was not restricted by the array. He could teleport over in an instant. If the Dragon Palace could obtain some resources from the ruins of the Ink Han clan, the 4-armed race and 3-eyed race could be annihilated. Tianjin, upgrade the 6th-order God Emperor fighter jet. Also, increase the combat strength of roving demon and 8-eyed race to the 6th-order God Emperor realm with 1 6th-order God Emperor realm corpse and 10 5th-order God Emperor realm corpses. After that, we'll explore the ruins of the Ink Han clan. Wang Xian continued instructing. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.